Welcome to Shy Out of Town Sports, and we're going to talk about what is very likely and very possible the end of an era. And it's not solely predicated on Kevin Durant, his legacy, his greatness, but you can pretty much see the trickle down effect, whether it's LeBron James, Stephen Curry. You're going to see these guys scrambling. See, you thought it was bad before, these guys making these super teams when they were in their prime. And this was one of the many criticisms a lot of people had. Like, you're in your prime, you're at the zenith of your ability, and you voluntarily choose to join forces with someone you're supposed to be competing against. That's why LeBron's move to join Wade and bring Chris Bosh along to the Heat. That's why it got so much criticism. So much people didn't like that. And even with Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors the previous year, Golden State had went 73-9, eliminated OKC, and the next thing you know, KD goes to Golden State. That's why that was frowned upon, because at the time all those players were in their prime. They were at their peaks, as you will. And now you're seeing like the leftover remnants of that, and this whole era is starting to wash away. And you look at LeBron with the Lakers, so ironically, well, now he has Luka on his team, and that looks great from an offensive point of view. But as any sport, especially the NBA, especially basketball, yeah, you can score a lot, but if you're not stopping anybody, you can't develop a consistent winning habit like that. That's not winning basketball. Sorry to break it to you guys. And a lot of people gave him he can guard all 5 positions when he was in his prime. And they started talking like that because he used to run people down and on fast breaks and block their shots from behind, pin them up against the backboard. He was that athletic. Now, don't get me wrong, LeBron is a great player. I won't take that from him. He's a great player. He's not the GOAT, and he's not better than Kobe, in my opinion. But, yeah, he's a great player. But this era is starting to slide away, starting to fade into the ether. And I, for one, who grew up loving the NBA, still have NBA fan fibers in my being. I am glad that it's coming to an end. Now, see, what's going to happen, and this is my personal opinion and prediction. What's going to happen in the offseason, because the Lakers, I still think that's what's going to happen. But let's say they slide past the first round into the second round. They definitely get knocked out in the second round. They're not going anywhere near the NBA Finals. So what you're going to have this offseason, in my opinion, because even with Jimmy Butler and the Warriors, I don't really see them going to the finals either. I think OKC is a buzzsaw this year, and chances are they're gonna see the Celtics. Cleveland is nothing to sleep on, I will admit. So Cleveland and Boston, that's in the Eastern Conference Finals, that's going to be something. But in the offseason, what I see happening, because these guys know the end is like right there at the doorsteps, like the Grim Reaper of their careers. When I say there, I'm talking about LeBron, Steph, and Kevin Durant, the triple-headed monster, the true faces of this generation of players. You could sprinkle Kawhi in there if he was more available. His head would have been on the Mount Rushmore of this era, what personifies this era, which is not all great, because those 4 players that I mentioned, if you want to personify this era, this soft cupcake era, you got the poster child of load management in Kawhi Leonard. You got Steph, who's great shooter, and people will say he revolutionized the game, for better or for worse. That can be up for debate still, because, now everybody thinks they're Steph. Everybody wants to shoot 2 steps after the half-court line, thinking they're Steph. You have a wide-open dunk, wide-open layup on a fast break. Oh, no, let's not take this 2. Let's throw it back behind the arc. So a lot of people like the free-flowing, and no more hand checking, and defense is not emphasized anymore. A lot of people like that, and the purists And I put myself in the category of the purist. I'm not fond of that at all. I like balance. Yeah, I like offense, but I like defense too. If everything is in favor of the offense and you're pretty much thumbing your nose at the defense, then how is that balanced entertainment? Good defense is exciting too, especially when you're going against a team that's known to have an explosive offense, and now they're matched up with a team with a very aggressive shutdown defense. Yes, everybody wants to see that. Who will win, offense versus defense? That's always a draw. But the NBA went so far to the extreme. Yeah, shoot more threes, shoot more. Oh, no hand checking. Don't stare at each other too long. That's a tech. We might have to eject you. It's just way overboard. It's way overboard at this point. But as far as it being the end of an era, what I think is going to happen, these guys are going to, whether get together in person and talk to each other on the phone, however, whatever is whatever, end up at the same vacation spot. I think they're going to try to put things in motion to where Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and LeBron James, if not all three, two of the three will be on the same team. That's what I think that's the next wave that I think is coming, because these guys know they're at the end of the rope pretty much. And if they would all end up on the same team, if LeBron had his way, everybody would end up with the Lakers. If the NBA had his way, and that's another thing, SAG, he usually gets to the free throw line like in the 30s every game. And that's how he gets his flow. And he's earned it. He's been balling all year. He's earned it. He's earned that respect. But ironically, the Lakers are in their 30s as far as fouls in their favor, shooting free throws. And OKC's in the 20s, low 20s, 21, 23 free throw attempts. Now, I'm not going to jump down a rabbit hole, but I will open the door so that we can take a little peek in it, And Kevin Durant and the Suns are already, they not even in the playoffs. Something is going to be put in motion. Salary cap is all of a team. I don't know what team. Will all of a sudden have enough salary cap space and be able to make certain moves to put all three of these players or two out of the three players on the same team. And if it was up to them, don't be surprised to see LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant on the same team within the next 2 years. I wouldn't be surprised if it went down next year. We know how these dudes move. And it just sums up the softness of this era, because Kevin Durant went to Phoenix thinking, oh man, this is the move. I'll be here with Devin Booker and okay, Bradley Beal coming over, and it's always right now with Bradley Beal. He's healthy right now. Okay, maybe we can do something. KD is about to leave Phoenix. That's what I see coming on the horizon. Let's read some of this article of the Suns. All of us kind of saw this coming. Because Bradley Beal, how often is he healthy? Can we be real about that? How often is Bradley Beal actually healthy for the majority of the season? Not often. And then he started having back issues. And once you start having back issues, especially in the NBA, because even when Pippen started having his back issues, never the same. So when Bradley Beal started having I was like, you know what? Yeah, he might be done so as far as his having back issues right now, and he's fairly young, and when he plays, you can look at him and be like, he moves like he's 45 years old. I don't know. Suns eliminated from playoffs and lost to Thunder. This will be in the description box down below, so you guys can read it for yourself. I'll read some of this. The Phoenix Suns were eliminated from playoff contention after losing at home 125-112 on Wednesday night to the short-handed OKC Thunder. Good googly move. Losing to a shorthand team? KD, what? Never mind. By the numbers, Bradley Beal led Phoenix with 25 points. Speak of the devil. Devin Booker added 20 points and 14 assists. The Suns played without star Kevin Durant, who suffered a sprained ankle last week. Yeah, the older he get. And y'all notice ever since KD came back from that Achilles rupture, and it's not just solely about him. Nobody's ever the same after that injury when they come back. Nobody. But he gets injured a lot now. And that was the first major injury of his career. He might have had little ankle tweaks here and there, but he hasn't been the same since. Jalen Williams scored 33 points for the Thunder, who were without Shai Gilgeous Alexander SGA. I said SAG. I always get them mixed up. My bad, bro. I don't like messing up people's names. What's Luke Dort and Isaiah Stein? OKC already clinched the top seed in the Western Conference, so they getting cardio right now. It just they don't really have nothing legitimate to play for, and that's why when people was so high on the Lakers beat OKC, all that, like Shannon Sharp, he gonna jump out the window every time the Lakers win. Oh, they're going to the finals. They're gonna beat the Celtics. As a matter of fact, they could beat the Celtics from the 80s. That's how good LeBron, Goat James. Listen to Shannon too long, your brain cells are turned into maggots. What they're saying. The loss was the 8th straight for the Suns, who will miss the playoffs for the first time since 2020. There's not one thing or one person or one player or one coach that's the problem, Booker said via the Associated Press. When you've had a season this bad, it's a bunch of things. I think the most frustrating part is being that close a few years ago and now being back to where we are. Booker was referencing 2021 when the Suns reached the NBA Finals before losing in 6 games to the Milwaukee Bucks. In that series, Phoenix had a 2-0 lead before losing 4 straight games. Yeah, that was, you guys can listen to them for yourself. Like I said, this link will be in the description box below. And one thing that is kind of ironic, in 2021, they were so close, and then they just laid an egg the rest of the way. And at the time, and Devin Booker hasn't had any real major injuries, like blowing an Achilles or ACL or, that would hinder him. So he has that in his favor, but it seems like he kind of overlooked the moment. Like he didn't appreciate the moment when it was happening, to the fullest. Now he's realizing it, probably should have took it more seriously because it's not easy. You're not guaranteed to get to the finals. It don't matter how good you are. The structure of teams change. The salary cap is there for a reason. Players might ask out for a reason. Just like KD asked to go to Phoenix, he could very well ask to leave Phoenix now. And now you back there in Phoenix, Devin Booker I'm talking about. Now you're there by yourself again, thinking about your future. And the way these players like to move around and bounce around, I would be surprised if Devin Booker started thinking about leaving Phoenix himself. Because it's going to be some musical chairs going on in the offseason, in my opinion. The end of an era. I don't believe super teams in their prime is going to be the main focus in the coming years moving forward. I think the last gas effort to make the super team a thing would be KD and LeBron playing together. And I don't know, they might be able to swing it to where Steph is with them. They all go to Golden State or they all go to the Lakers. I seriously doubt that they'll go to Phoenix. If anything, in my opinion, the most likely scenario would be all of them going to the 1B option would be all of them in Golden State. And that still won't work because everybody's going to blame KD. Let's say they all go to the same team. Everybody's gonna blame KD and Steph for why they lost. They're not gonna blame LeBron at all. Oh, it's never LeBron James's fault. It's always everybody else's fault. Doesn't matter how great Kevin Durant is. When he's healthy, he's somebody you gotta think about. Doesn't matter. You can't just put a bunch of guys together and be like, okay, this will be enough. Yeah, we could win the finals now. And that's what happened when Karl Malone and Gary Payton decided to go to the Lakers. Shaq and Kobe were. Gary Payton and Karl Malone, that's a shoe-in. They definitely going to win the finals. They did not. The Detroit Pistons was like, man, I don't care what y'all name is. We coming. And that, to me, would be the same kind of outcome if Steph, KD, and LeBron try to orchestrate a way for them all to play together. It's not going to work. Y'all days are done. That's my opinion. That's my prediction. Take it how you want to take it. If you like my content, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Pass the word. Pass it to your friends. Pass the link to your friends. Tell them to subscribe to the channel. This is Shy Outta Town Sports. And that is the end. I'll let y'all later. Subscribe.